Johnny Depp was born on June 9, 1963 in Owensboro, Kentucky. From a very young age, he showed a restless energy that set him apart. He wasn't content with following rules or doing what everyone expected. Instead, he was curious, imaginative, and driven by a desire to explore the world around him. Life in Kentucky was calm and predictable, but Johnny's mind was full of adventure and creativity. As a child, he loved to climb trees, run through open fields, and tinker with anything he could find. Music became one of his first passions. By the age of 7, Johnny had picked up a guitar. His fingers were small and inexperienced, but he played with determination and excitement. Strumming the strings gave him a voice, a way to express feelings that he could not yet put into words. Music became a part of him, a way to escape the ordinary and create something entirely his own. When Johnny was in his early teens, his family moved to Miramar, Florida. This was a big change, and it wasn't easy. High school felt restrictive, and Johnny struggled to fit in. He often clashed with teachers who saw him as distracted or rebellious. But Johnny wasn't defiant for the sake of it. He was searching for a place where he could be himself, a way to explore his passions without being told how to behave. At home, life wasn't always simple either. Family tensions sometimes made him feel out of place. Music became a sanctuary. He would spend hours in his room, strumming the guitar, experimenting with chords, and trying to write his own songs. His friends noticed his energy, his creativity, and his willingness to take risks. Even at a young age, Johnny had a spark that made people pay attention, a sense that he was destined to do something different. High school revealed more of Johnny's unique personality. He experimented with his appearance, dyeing his hair and wearing clothes that set him apart from everyone else. He was drawn to rock and roll and the rebellious music of the time. Performing and creating music gave him freedom and a sense of identity. He began imagining himself on stage, not just listening to music, but being the one to create it, to perform, and to connect with an audience. While music was his first love, Johnny also had a deep fascination with movies and storytelling. He would watch film after film, captivated not only by the actors but by the worlds they brought to life. He was fascinated by the idea that someone could step into another person's life, experience their emotions, and tell a story that could move people. This curiosity planted a seed for what would eventually become a lifelong passion for acting. Despite his rebellious streak, Johnny showed loyalty and intensity in the things he cared about. He was fiercely committed to his friends, to music, and to the dreams he was beginning to imagine. While other teenagers followed a predictable path, Johnny focused on possibilities, exploring his creativity and learning to trust his instincts. At 16, Johnny made a decision that would shape his future. He dropped out of high school. It was a bold move, one that worried his parents, but Johnny felt he could not wait for life to hand him opportunities. He needed to create his own path. This decision was the first real step toward independence. Music became the way he stepped into the world. He formed a band with friends and began performing at local clubs. The crowds were small, the money was modest, but Johnny poured himself into every performance. Being on stage gave him a sense of freedom and confidence he had never felt before. Every performance was a lesson in courage, resilience, and self-expression. He learned to face challenges head-on and to keep going even when things were difficult. It wasn't always easy. The journey was full of long nights, tight budgets, and constant uncertainty. Yet Johnny's determination never faltered. He learned to take risks, to trust his instincts, and to embrace the unknown. These early experiences in music shaped the way he would approach life, performance, and eventually acting. While music remained his main focus, acting began to appear as another outlet. School plays and small performances gave him the chance to explore new characters and tell stories in a different way. Acting offered a freedom similar to music, a way to step into someone else's shoes and explore the emotions and experiences of another life. These first experiences would grow into a passion that would eventually define his career. Johnny's childhood and teenage years were more than just a time of growth. They were the beginning of a dream built on creativity, rebellion, and the courage to follow his own path. He was learning to embrace who he was, to trust his instincts, and to take the first steps toward a life shaped by his own choices. Every decision, every note he played, every small risk he took brought him closer to the person he was meant to become. The world around him may have seemed ordinary, but Johnny's imagination and ambition were extraordinary. He was ready to take on whatever came next, driven by the desire to create, perform, and live life on his own terms. And yet, the teenage years would not be easy. They would test his determination, challenge his choices, and push him to confront the realities of pursuing a dream. The next chapter of Johnny's journey will reveal the struggles, the risks, and the moments that shaped the young man before the world would come to know him. Next episode, Teenage Turmoil.